I am very excited today about this podcast, and you guys all know why. I have said it before. The way we market and sell industrial pieces of equipment is totally different than other things that are being marketed. There's a long sales cycle, there's a big investment, and customers want to feel trust. They want to trust those brands that they are going to buy from. Today, in this episode, I talk with Brent Fischmann, who is the managing director of Wintersteiger Solutions. And he's going to tell you that covers a lot. And that's why he is an expert, and he is going to give us some great ideas that we can all use on how do we stand out when we go to those crowded spaces like a FABTECH trade show where there are tons of booths. How do we get people just to come to our booth? How do we build the confidence with people? How do we start to form those relationships that instill trust and turn those prospects into customers while we shorten the sales cycle? So let's jump in. Hi, Brent. How are you today?
I'm doing well, Donna. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate having you. Like I said, I know with the Wintersteiger Solution brand, there are several different verticals. Maybe you could quickly explain that to us.
Of course, Wintersteiger is the parent company in the corporate umbrella. Under Wintersteiger, we have famous brands in woodworking for thin cutting bandsaws and frame saws. We have our own OEM saw blades. And on the metalworking side, we have Kohler Leveling. So within North America, I have all of those woodworking and metalworking brands, all of the US sales, parts, service, and support organizations. In this context, we're talking about FABTECH and the Kohler brand on the metalworking side.
That's right. And I just have to put one little thing in there. Wintersteiger also has that ski side to it, which all my listeners know I'm a big fan of downhill skiing. And that is
Uh,
how I started working with your company in the first place, is when Tracy Beers and I started to talk about skiing.
it's interesting, a little bit of the history, get on a sidetrack here. So everybody knows Wintersteiger from the ski world. It's because the founder of Wintersteiger and the founder of Fischer Skis are neighbors. If you go to where our factory is in Austria, in Upper Austria, the Fischer factory is right there. You understand right away, okay, these guys
Oh, okay.
over maybe a beer somewhere found out that Mr. Fischer needed some help finishing his skis. Mr. Wintersteiger was like, okay, I think we can do that. So that relationship exists to today. But it's just a cool little fun fact that if you're driving around Austria, the factories are going to be very close to each other. So that's how it all started.
I'm going to have to go there.
Before we jump in, your host is Donna Peterson, and you are listening to the B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast. We come to you every week with actionable tips and suggestions that can help you be more efficient, create better marketing plans, and be a salesperson that really closes those leads.
We talk about the importance of relationship building. Case in point, right there. You started to build a relationship. Yes, that was your neighbor, but with how I got involved with your brand was attending a trade show, meeting Tracy during one of the sessions. Her and I started to talk about skiing, and the relationship started to form. And that's how you and I got to meet.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm looking forward someday to meeting in person, but through that relationship with Tracy, I took on the responsibility with Wintersteiger Solutions just less than a year ago and wanted to enliven our marketing and do some different things. And so it was a perfect, opportunity to work with you. And we've done a lot of different things. We've expanded our digital footprint and done some things on both the Wintersteiger and Kohler side that have been really very effective.
It's been a fun relationship. It's just developing and getting deeper all the time. Now, Kohler Leveling, it's known for its technical excellence, but at FabTech, we talked about it. It's a huge show. Like everyone, if you haven't been there, there are several halls to this show, hundreds of booths. How can your booth stand out and make a lasting impression?
Yeah, it's a great question. And again, it's what you struggle with going into a show. What we do is a couple of things. First of all, we will have one of our prestige units at the show. It'll be under power. We'll be doing live demonstrations that are for customers very representative of the kind of parts they'll be running. If a customer does show up with a bag of parts, the chances are we could even run samples on their parts. But regardless, we're going to be showing a machine because honestly, there's always an aha moment. Many people don't know that technology exists or that solution is there. By showing it, running it, we grab a little bit of attention that way, and people remember, that's the unit I saw running in Chicago. The other thing is we make very certain that all the key people that support our business are going to be there. We bring over stakeholders from the German business because I want the potential customers talking to us, they're going to meet everybody. They're going to have the names of everybody that's going to be invested in their success on our side. So the people that own the laboratory in Germany, the factory, the CEO of the company, all of my team here in North America that are providing the local service and support. So they know our team, and it's not just the U.S. sales guy standing there talking to them. So they're going to get commitments. If they're looking for commitments and engagement in the project, they're going to have everybody there that is a stakeholder in their success. So that's our approach. That's the way we approach a trade show.
I think it's excellent that you're bringing so many people from different departments within the Kohler brand to the show, because I think your sales team needs to hear what everyone else is talking about. The technical side, they can really get into the nitty gritty if a customer did come by the booth.
I know we'll get to it, but one of the things that I think is happening in the industry is, and you mentioned it, the sales cycle is very long, but I think customers are further down their buying journey than they have been in the past.
Yes.
And that means they have understood their pain point. They've identified the market players. They've identified generically some technologies, and they're coming to you. That often that first conversation is very technical.
Yes.
How does this address my issue? Here's my specific problems. It's put more value on having that technical support right there, being able to answer that first question credibly, because it's not really a sales question. He's not asking for price and availability. He's saying, can you solve my problem? How does this unit solve it? Does it solve it reliably every time? And getting that right immediately builds the trust.
Yep. And especially if the technical person can bring in, oh, yes, we did something similar for this person, and this is what we were able to do for them. It helps. And what you said is exactly correct. We all used to talk about the sales funnel. It used to be like this, it would come down. And the more and more with all the content you can put out in the place, and AI and GPTs, which I promote all the time. Every company has to have a GPT that can answer all the questions and serve that up to an individual 24/7, 365 days a year. It's become more the sales cylinder. Because those people that are entering here, like you said, they've done all their research. Now they just need to answer a few more things that are specific to them. And if you can answer that, like you said, you've shortened that sales cycle and they're going to want to work with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
One other quick question. I always thought of your part leveling pieces of equipment to be for massive things. I always thought of it as for aviation, but you said if someone came into the trade show with their parts, you could help them. Just for my own knowledge, can you just tell me what type of parts would people be bringing in?
Oh, gosh. It really runs the gamut. And again, we have the line can do very large plate up to 5 foot wide, but it can also do small parts. And it could be rings, it would be gear components. It's basically almost any part that's coming off a laser or a plasma cutting system. And because of the cutting process may have some warpage now. So it's not just sheet, but it can be the actual final geometry part. And it can be small. It can be, we have smaller units to do smaller parts. So it's a math problem, but it can be any part that a fabricator is struggling with, where there is either they're getting deformation in their process or they're not achieving, say, a customer flatness specification for form fit, or they're having troubles in the next process with weld adhesion or bending. They just need a better result of the part going into the next process. So it's
Excellent.
everything. Yeah, it's not just the big sheet for aerospace and automotive. It's all kinds of parts all over the place.
Right there where you said form fitting, I think that was my aha moment. Then I was like, okay, now I get it. So thank you for that clarification.
Yeah, no
Now,
problem.
at the beginning, as we talked about, these industrial equipment is a big investment. Often with that long sales cycle, what have you found that helps you build that trust that we were talking earlier and shorten the sales cycle when talking with prospects? Is it bringing that technical person in, obviously, to the trade show, but what else can you do?
I think, again, my answer is recognizing that customer is meeting us well down their journey. Doesn't mean the cycle's any shorter. It just means we're meeting them at a different point. So the technical support for the interaction is very important. So I'm making sure we're partnered with our engineers and our test people right up front. If there's any demonstrations we need to do, that the customer is getting technical feedback. We're diving right into collaborative solutions versus me trying to explain the value of what my unit does. We're past that. The other thing that I like to look at is not avoiding the elephant in the room, which is the question about return on investment. Because capital investment generally has, whatever size company, you've got a process for capital expenditure approvals. It doesn't matter whether you're the owner and you are the approval process, or it's a corporate system where you've got 3 levels of review for the CapEx plan. Knowing where, getting right into that ROI and helping the customer address, look, this is what we're going to do. This is the number of parts you're going to be able to put through. Here's how it's addressing your bottleneck and how to approach the valuation on it. Because the ROI is where a lot of these things get racked and stacked at a customer. They say, oh, we'd love to do that, but the ROI maybe here is less than on this piece of equipment, and they take the higher ROI unit first on a planning context. Understanding how they do their budgeting and where we fall, helping them, because there's another stakeholder. You might be talking, the guy's got the manufacturing engineering problem. He's got a bottleneck on the floor. He's got a cell that he needs to improve. But there's somebody back in the building who has to approve spending X $100,000. So you are going to have the ROI discussion. You just ask those questions right up front. You help the stakeholder engage with his people in a way that's effective and helps them understand the value. Because if it's not there, that'll shortcut your process as well. You don't need to be going on if they can't make that ROI work. So those are a couple of things you do to address the cycle. If we're 6 months out, 8 months out in the planning, we're going to be here whenever you're ready for the technology. Understanding how that decision is going to be made and how you categorize the value of these investments. I try to hit that up front.
I think that's a very good approach, because the one was the first thing you said, where you've got to offer that valuable content that really tells them about the piece of equipment, how it can help them solve any challenges that they're having. A lot of people still put out such generic fluff pieces of content. That's not what they want anymore. Right now, you've got to offer them content that speaks to them about their challenge. But then, to your other point, whether you're speaking to the engineer right up front or you're speaking to the person back end about the return on investment, this is where in marketing now, you've got to make sure your marketing pieces are different. They could have the same content in it, but with different features. Like the engineer, like you said, what is it going to do to help him on the floor, to the back end? What's going to be a return on investment? And then you have to continue to nurture those people in a way that resonates with them.
Yeah. It's a kind of a classic issue in our industry, and I've seen this before in other companies. When you're an engineering technology-led business offering a really sophisticated technology to do amazing things, we love our box. We love the thing. And all the marketing, it starts out is look at our thing and look at all the things and then the lights and the pieces that go. And I always challenge, the very first thing I do is I say, okay, talk to me like I'm a customer. What problem are you solving? I have a problem. It may not be the same problem as the last guy we sold one of these to. Don't make everybody an aerospace customer.
Don't
Show me.
pigeonhole everyone into one spot. Yes.
There was a great example. We were doing an open house with one of our distributors, and a customer came in and they're like, I have this problem. And it was this really interesting, they almost made like a screen. The product was half of the laser had so many perforations, it looked like a screen with an edge around it. And he's like, can you guys help me with this? And I'll be darned if we didn't have a video of a part very similar to that going through the machine. So I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
Went to the video and we found that segment. And he's, oh yeah, that looks just like my. So I'm on a big push. Show me the kinds of solutions we've offered. Speak like a customer. If you have this issue, if you're looking for this solution, if your problem is X, we do that. And then you have plenty of time in the end to be like, and look at our machine and all the things it has and how energy efficient it is and the footprint, all the stuff the engineers geek out on, which need to be there too. But it's so funny. Every manufacturer I've ever worked with has the same issue. The bias is, but our machine is amazing and look at what it has. And they're like, okay.
That's the way it was years ago. And I use the analogy all the time. We're a 45-year-old company. If I go out and I tell people we've been around for 45 years, they'd be like, so what? What can you do for me? What is going to help me get my job done more efficiently, save me time, and save me money?
And the only point about the 45 years is we're not going anywhere. We'll be here. You invest. We'll be here to take care of you. Our whole organization is built up around serving customers.
Yes.
You talk about all the legacy units you have out in the market, installed base. That's the point. They want to know, okay, if I buy this 6 months from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now,
will you be there?
Are you still going to do parts and service? And like, yeah, we've been here for 45 years. That's when it's relevant, not, hey, look at our brand. We're so well known. Yeah. We're known because we're there when you call.
And you and I are on the exact same page. It's about understanding the individual. What are their challenges? How can you help them? And what you're just talking about, going and finding the video, that is why I am so excited about these GPTs that AI has to offer, because an individual can go in, instead of everyone scurrying around trying to find it, they can ask it, boom, and they can get served it right away. But that's another story for another day.
Yes. And I'm on my journey. I know you've started me off on this AI thing, and I'm still on my journey.
Oh, the journey's going to continue for all of us for a long time.
Yes, I think it will.
So now marketing capital equipment is different than selling simple products. What role does trade shows play in helping you connect with those decision makers in a more meaningful way?
Yeah, and I will acknowledge I'm not a historical fan. I've been going to trade shows for many more years than I'd like to count. And they're one of the last things on my list of favorite things to do. However, I will say that since COVID, I think they've come back in a new way.
Yes.
That makes them more valuable.
Yes.
And it's that what we talked about already. The customer is already on a buying journey. You don't need to start them off on that. They're not coming to discover you. Mm-hmm. They are coming to find out if you are that right partner and can you handle my solutions. I think they have more buying intent now. The people that we meet are more often the decision makers. You're not struggling to find out, okay, you're number 37 on the list.
And you have to work your way up and it takes like forever.
It's not the beginning of the conversation for anyone, not for them and not for us. A lot of times the decision makers, the key stakeholders walk right in, you're engaged right away, and hey, I think you guys can help me, but I need to understand the system. Being there is more important because I think the leads are much higher quality than they used to be. It's a very large expense for a lot of companies to do these big shows. And the ROI used to never be there. It was just fear of missing out. Now ROI is there. You are getting much higher quality leads, and there is more traceable success going back to the conversations you have at shows. I think also having the actual equipment, running live demos.
I go to trade shows in all different verticals, whether it's pharmaceutical, metal forming, the food and beverage manufacturing space, or marketing shows, but everyone is saying the same thing. There may not be quantity, but the quality of people at the shows is there, and people are writing business at shows. Where it used to be, like you said, you would be 37 and you had to work your way up to get to the buyer. Now you're actually talking to the buyer. And this is why it's great what you're doing with the Kohler brand, having all those different people right there at the booth, because if you've got these actual decision makers there, like we talked about, they don't want the fluff. They want to talk to people who can really get down into how this equipment can help them with their challenges and what is your ROI, or how fast are we going to be able to produce things and get them out in the best quality or best form.
I absolutely agree. Yeah, it's the unavoidable flagship of the marketing calendar is going to these big shows.
Yes.
So I think we've all got better at preparing for them
Yes.
and that's where I think some of the pre-show marketing gets more dialed in, trying to hit right target audiences so people do put you on their list of go see at the show.
Yeah. And also the piece that you put out there pre-show, quality companies are learning it can't be generic. Oh, come stop by our booth. That's not going to work. It's more offering that valuable piece of content. And then the flip side, what I've been assessing a lot of clients is after you leave the show, take those people that stop by your booth and send them a personal note that just says, I know your time here is valuable. Thank you for stopping by. That's it.
Yep.
Don't sell them on anything. Just tell people you appreciate what they did. It goes a long way.
That follow-up is key.
Yes, it is.
Those are the right people. I agree 100%. No, it's if people still did snail mail, you could handwrite one, but nobody does that anymore. So it's an email.
Funny you should say that. Yes, they do. Oh, I wish I had it right. Oh, I do have it right here. Hallmark Business Connections. I don't know if you can see this. Obviously, my listeners can't, but Hallmark Business Connections has a service where a company can go in and they do make it look like a handwritten note in the gold Hallmark envelope with the gold stamp. People open this and they'll see the company, and you get more eyes than any email that ever will be deleted. FYI, fans. Okay. It's a good source.
Good tip. Good free tip.
Yes. Now, for those who stop by the Kohler Leveling North America booth at FABTECH or any trade show, what story or message do you hope sticks with them when they leave your booth? What will they remember?
That's a great question. I think there's a couple sets of people that do know us, that know what we do, that have come because they think we can solve a problem. I hope they feel comfortable. They've met the whole US team that's going to accompany them on the process. They've got names and numbers and contacts for people in Germany and factory. There's nobody to escalate to because everybody they need to talk to is right there. I hope they go convinced that the organization is there, ready to support them, and they know we're serious about doing business. There are some people that come by and really are not aware of this solution and that this technology is available. And they're using all kinds of homemade systems, using presses that aren't designed for this to try to flatten parts. And if they kludge together a solution because they have a pain point, and there literally are people, I've seen it, I take apart, I bend it, and then I throw it through the thing, and they're like, no way. And then there's an aha moment.
Those have to be special.
Those are fun because their eyes light up and they start thinking, I wonder if that worked for this part or that part. I think one thing I hope is they realize there's this industry-leading technology that's available now that has a place in their fabricating process. Part of it is just awareness. That technology is here. It's offered in a really energy efficient and cost efficient way. Part of it is I want the people that don't know anything to be like, I saw the coolest thing, the people that go, what did you see that you didn't know was not the new thing that's 20% more powerful or can get 20% smaller. But I discovered something I didn't know existed.
A piece of equipment I didn't know existed, which is now going to save us so much time. We can get rid of that piecemeal setup we have here and actually do it accurate and more efficiently.
And for the ones that do know about it and are looking for it, I want them to feel, hey, these guys are serious. They're in the market to stay. They've been here a long time. They've got a full team here ready to back us up, and they're good to go.
You need those particular people, and those people that have that aha moment You are going to save them that time. And their piece is going to be produced with more accuracy, and they're going to save on waste.
It saves them a lot of time, a lot of rework, potentially scrap, and it gives them better quality down the line, depending on what they do next. If they're trying to weld or do some sort of complicated bending operation, they'll need a flat product. And increasingly, there are flatness specifications that they need to be flat within so many thousandth.
I did not know that until you mentioned it earlier on in our conversation. I was like, whoa, flatness specifications.
These are the things customers, that's the other thing that happens is customers find out they can have a product with certain qualities, and then they start asking for it. In my past life, it was having deburred and rounded edges. Customers didn't know it was available, and then they say, no, I want my parts to look like that. We've got customers that are making parts for large agricultural equipment makers and putting together their cabs for those big combines. A lot of parts have to get together. A lot of parts have to fit. The flatness spec turns out to be very important.
Because you can't fit, the space is only, you can't fit something that's this big.
Gaps and visible quality defect, not acceptable, acceptable. Farmers just paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, for a piece of equipment. So it's amazing where you find it.
Yeah.
And that's what's exciting is there's so many fabricators that have this issue. This is the industry leading way to deal with it. So it's just helping them understand where we can help them, how quickly they can start making money and improving their quality with this type of solution. There's a whole range of things. The other thing I like to tell people is this is all we do. I don't have a press break. I don't have any kind of laser.
Then your expertise is focused right here. You're not trying to do everything for everyone.
I wouldn't call it niche, but it's a special capability, special technology, and that's what we do. All over the world, we're increasingly able to share a lot of success stories. We have some cool ones with U.S. customers that they're allowing us to share at FABTECH, so we're excited about that. I think FABTECH is going to be a really good show for us. It's the flagship of what we do every year, and the focus of all the marketing that we're working with you together on, Donna, to help build up that impact.
Good. I have to tell you, I love looking at the different pieces of equipment. When I help companies with their marketing, the more I know about the equipment, it helps me fine tune lists that you might use or messages. I want to thank you so much for your time today, Brent. I found this to be very educational for myself, but I think our listeners will get a lot of value out of it also.
Thank you, Donna. It's a pleasure. It's been fun working with you. And I guess I'm in the 21st century now being on a podcast. So this is
Yes,
cool.
You are. And for our listeners, I would say our top takeaway is stop with the fluff, get down into the meat of it, and give people some actual details and offer them value. I think Brent reinforced that for us over and over as we talk today. Until next time, everyone, have a great day. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the World Innovators B2B Marketing Excellence and AI podcast. If you'd like to be updated when new episodes come out, don't forget to subscribe. Also, check out our social media accounts to stay up to date on B2B marketing trends.